Hello guys, welcome back. I am back to making videos. In case you didn't realise it, the videos you've been watching for the last few months were recorded in May or even back in April and uploaded on a schedule while I got on with a big move. But now I've got at least a rudimentary setup for making some models, and so I can start making some videos again. Now first of all, I do need to apologise for the picture and the sound quality in this video. It's not what you're used to. I haven't got my lighting sorted out yet, so there's quite a lot of high ISO noise on the video. And for some reason, even though I'm using the same microphone I always use, using it on this different computer always causes a drop in sound quality. I'm not quite sure why. So I'm still waiting for lots of things to arrive in my shipping, my desktop PC being one of them, my airbrush and compressor being another one. But I have got a basic setup now. I've got some model kits, I've got some basic tools, I've got some glue. So I'm going to start by making this Rammtiger from Werk. So as you might know, when the Tiger 1 tank was developed, both Porsche and Henschel worked on prototypes. And ultimately the Porsche design was turned down, leaving them with some spare chassis which had already been produced. Now most of those chassis were actually converted or rebuilt as Elefant tank destroyers, and you remember I built one of those fairly recently, but a few were used for other purposes as well. And one of those is this Rammtiger conversion. Now it's still not 100% clear whether or not these were developed, and this was designed for clearing debris and I guess rubble and battlefield obstacles. Most sources say that 3 were built, but we have no visual evidence of that, and none of them survived the war. So it kind of makes this kit a sort of, not quite a what-if kit, but perhaps a what-if kit. And as you can see here, I've started to build up the wheels. The suspension has a slightly unique feature here. I haven't seen this before. It has these sort of metal springs which go inside the suspension arms and give them a little bit more well, spring, I guess. To be honest, I found those quite difficult to fit, so after the first one, I left them off. And again, I can see the ISO noise in the background of the video here. I'm really sorry about that, guys. I do want to get better lighting, but obviously I don't want to buy new when I've got some that's perfectly usable. It's just in shipping. And you'll notice here that we only have a single row of wheels. There's none of that interleaving which we get with the actual Tiger. The top of the hull, of course, is different to the regular Tiger. And one thing to note is obviously this kit doesn't have a turret, but also Werk don't provide anything to fill that turret ring. But that's not a problem because the big armour casing which goes over the top completely obscures any of that anyway, so there's no issues there. These vents are a nice addition, but again, because of the armour casing on the top, they won't be visible in the final model. And in fact, because of that, this is really quite a sharp build. We've got no tools, we've got no towing cables, we've got no grab handles or anything like that on the main superstructure itself. I did find this bit of the kit quite awkward. Putting the sides onto the top seems like a good idea in theory, but then when you come to put this onto the lower hull, it's really difficult to get the bottom of those sponsons touching the side of the hull and not just folding inwards, if you see what I mean. So I did struggle quite a lot with that. This absolutely massive armoured battering ram shell comes in one piece. There's just a couple of little lifting hooks to attach to it, and then a small portion of the lower front as well. And at the back we have these two doors which can be attached in such a way that they will still remain working. The tracks are individual links, and then each link has a tread plate as a separate piece as well. And you are supplied with some jigs so that you can build those up in a nice straight manner. I built up the tracks, glued them together, and then glued them to the wheels, and left that whole track and wheel assembly detachable from the vehicle. And then being separate just helps with the painting and also to an extent the weathering as well. And here's the tracks built up, and looking at the video it occurs to me that I might have put them on backwards. But there's not much I can do about that now anyway, so I'm just going to have to get away with that and hope it's not too noticeable. There are a few extra parts in the box which presumably are for other versions of this kit. And looking at that armour plating, I just thought it looked a little bit plain, so I played around with some of those spare panels, etc., just to break up the outline a bit, just to make it look a bit different. There's also a couple of spare wooden boxes and spades on the sprue, and I know they probably wouldn't go there, but I put them on the back of the armour plating, again just to break it up. And I took a couple of grab handle style pieces and put those below the doors to act as sort of steps or something. Again, maybe that's not 100% realistic, but you know what, this is a borderline what if kit anyway. No one really knows what these looked like, so I'm going for it, I like it. Okay guys, so because I don't have my airbrush with me, I'm not painting this kit at the moment. I have however given it a coat of Tamiya primer. And it was after giving it the primer coat that I noticed the sink marks on the top sides here of this armour panel. They weren't really visible before. The fact that they're still visible through the primer tells me I'm going to have to do some sanding or something to correct them and then re-primer it again. But I will do that after this video and before the painting video. Of course I will be painting it later, and with that in mind I'll show you these different paint schemes which come with the kit. We've got this grey and black splinter scheme, a fairly standard 3-colour late war scheme, and that's fairly nice, but I do feel like an unusual vehicle like this maybe should wear a slightly different camo scheme. And then we've got two more schemes, this overall German grey scheme and a winter whitewash scheme. But as I say, this is basically a what if kit, so we can do what we want with it. If you have any ideas about how I should paint this, then please do feel absolutely free to leave a comment below. I'm thinking at the moment something that's maybe a little bit splinter camouflage-ish. I want something that's quite stand out, I think. But if you've got any ideas, leave a comment below, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much for putting up with the lower video and sound quality. That is being addressed, I promise. And thank you especially to my Patreon supporters. Your support is always appreciated, but even more so right now. I've had to go out and spend quite a bit on new modelling supplies and so on, knowing I've got these things anyway, but not access to them. So it's greatly appreciated, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, and I'm going to leave you with a quick preview of two future videos. This first one is a Jagdpanther and was recorded back in May, so good lighting. And this second one is the Airfix RAF resupply kit, which I've been building this week. So guys, until next time, thank you everyone for watching, take care, and I hope to see you in the next video.